Hello everyone and welcome to the Belt and Road Face to Face.
But right now, we only can use export-oriented sectors booming to encourage the large employment.
Textile was a hallmark of Pakistan and well known across the world.
I think right now, the important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is how to encourage the MSEs.
Only focusing on the export-oriented industry will not sustain the economic growth.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Belt and Road Face to Face. Our program is co-produced by China Economic Net and Vash News Television. I am Zoon Khan from China Economic, and today I am pleased to be joined in our studio by Professor Zhou Rong, who is Senior Research Fellow at the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies of Kunming University of China. Welcome, Professor. And we also have with us Mr. Kamran Rasool, originally from Pakistan, who is Quality Manager at Volkswagen Group China. Welcome to you too.
Thank you.
Let's start the first part of our program, Hotspot. Recently, advisor to Pakistan, and what we need to understand in this context is that what are Razak Dawood's considerations to encourage exports? Professor Zhou, I would like to come to you first with this question, because it seems that we could potentially be in a vicious cycle, but Razak Dawood seems to be optimistic. What are your comments?
I think to do the comparison between China and Pakistan, we must notice that China right now is facing certain kind of unfair sanction from United States, and China is trying to establish a unified domestic market, which is a different strategy from Pakistan. For Pakistan, it does not face any sanctions, one thing. Another thing is Pakistan's consumption ability need to be improved. We should use this word. So the more they encourage, they have some incentives to encourage the export sectors, then the more they will just improve the employment of Pakistan. And when the employment improved, then the purchasing power also improved. So for Pakistan, it's different from China. That is, Pakistan need to encourage more export-oriented sectors boom, rather than China. China's situation is different.
The domestic consumption is very high.
So domestic consumption, we can say is high, but not very high. So when we wanted to establish a united domestic market, we just use two cycles. One is a domestic one, another is the international, which we can interact with each other. But for Pakistan, right now, I think export-oriented strategy is a must. Right now, until that is a Pakistan make, what we say that is a make in Pakistan. You do not say made in Pakistan, make in Pakistan.
Made in Pakistan.
No.
Because already made.
Made in Pakistan. Whenever just this from the slogan into reality, into a brand. And Pakistan may also just enjoy the China's privilege just to explore more about the indigenous market and make yourself better. But right now, we only can use export-oriented sectors booming to encourage the large employment and to, at the same time, enhance the people's ability, purchasing ability, something like that.
Professor Zhou, you raise a very important point that actually for China also, it has been a journey. Before the brand made in China, the idea of made in China came because the domestic consumption was not that high, so China was export oriented. So Kamran, I'll come to you here, that Pakistan definitely has not been an export oriented economy. But we are also not high consumers. So the result has been a slow economy.
True.
Now the government seems to be shifting the focus and encouraging exports. First of all, what do you think about the sectors? I'm thinking textiles were the pride of Pakistan, and because of the economic crisis, they suffered. Football, this was, and surgical instruments. Do you think these are the right sectors to encourage?
Yes, these are the right sectors to encourage because
These
these
are
were the
known
hallmark
sectors.
of Pakistan before. Textile was a hallmark of Pakistan and well known across the world, but it was taken over by Bangladesh and a few other countries as well. You see the export oriented areas are only very few that we can count on our fingers, right? So this would only make sense to just fuel in the more momentum and energy into the export oriented areas such as carpets, textile, leather goods and surgical equipment, because this is where Pakistan has achieved very good quality and reliability across the regions in different countries, and Pakistan's goods are circulating in the market, especially also in China when we talk about the surgical equipment as well.
So
Pakistan.
coming to Professor Joe from
Yes.
here, China is the pioneer country to know the post-COVID world. We really are in a semi-post-COVID condition. What do you think about the sectors that Pakistan, of course, these are the hallmark sectors, as Kamran said. It's not like we have a list of 150 sectors to choose from. This is what Pakistan excels in. Do you think these are good, this is a good policy, these like textiles, leather, carpets, sporting goods and surgical instruments, do you think the demand is going to increase post-COVID? Should we try to shift our focus in this period?
I think there's 2 points. Number one is within some of the products on the list, textile, of course, will still play a very important role in the future's Pakistan export. But not everything, something leather and the carpet, because carpet you cannot sell too much. Selling is limited.
It's a luxury.
It's a luxury, so it's not very easy to do it. And also for geographic vertification, that is, you should just export your product in various countries, not only in traditional trade destination. I don't really think so. So I think right now, important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is how to encourage the MSEs, small and medium enterprises. I noticed one thing very funny, that is Pakistan's small enterprises criteria is about something about 1 million RMB, renminbi, 1 million RMB. It's very small in China. That can only say is tiny enterprises, but something about 5 million RMB
is
to the
medium.
media level. So for that case, you see, but they just share about 80 or 90% of non-agricultural labor force, you see. So which we should say and contribute about at least 60 of the your GDP. For this case, to give a more stimulus, incentives.
So you think that we need to give this 90% of the labor force and 60% of GDP more encouragement?
More encouragement.
But they focus on the domestic economy, these small and medium enterprises. So maybe that is the catch.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Right now, no mega company like to do the investment on the small and SMEs. The reason for that is they do not they are reluctant to even to sign a contract with any kind of one, because the lack of the what we say that well done workforce and management and some other thing. But that we can say that the direction of Pakistan is to enhance the ability and the power of the SME rather than some mega companies and group, you see. So Pakistan right now, yes, as you said, yes, we need to just like everybody to have a work, but mostly they will work on SME rather than some big company. Until Pakistan become the very dynamic for their development of SME. I don't really think that only rely on export can save Pakistan economy. Yeah.
But in the SME sector, actually the quality of employability is not that good and the focus is not export oriented. So I want, Kamran, your opinion on this. What other solutions? Professor Joe mentioned a very good solution that we should empower the 90% labor force, the sector that employs 90% labor force. But really, we need to export. And you know that 1 million RMB worth a small enterprise is probably not export oriented and probably cannot sustain any shock waves.
Right.
What is your solution in this situation?
So if you take a look at China right now, China is making the decisions according to their challenges and according to the situation they're dealing with. China's focus is to expand the domestic consumption and to also make sure that we're able to meet the domestic consumption in all the areas, for example, masks or whatever, the medicines or whatever. The decision for China, I totally understand, but for Pakistan, just like Professor Joe mentioned, that only focusing on the export-oriented industry will not sustain the economic growth. So what can be done? What I would say that in Pakistan we have to take into consideration two bigger challenges. One is to make sure that people's lifestyle improves, because that is important in order to for the poverty alleviation from the very poor areas, and also to be able to uplift the middle class buying power, so that they will be able to contribute in the economic growth. But how can this be done? There can be some areas that can be explored to improve the lifestyle of the people. We can learn from China that if the government can make some very good, sustainable, far-reaching and far-thinking reforms or policy, for example, online activity or online e-commerce, if the government can make the policies more easier and better for the new entrepreneurs or the fresh graduates, then they will not be suffering, being in a jobless state and being not able to find their way around in this difficult economic situation, especially the ones that are graduating from, let's say, with IT or computer science degrees. They're coming out. If the entrepreneurship can be encouraged in Pakistan, and there can be the many startups coming up with innovative solutions that can help deal with the post-COVID-19 world, and also at the same time bring more convenience to the day-to-day life of the middle class, that will create an internal momentum that we need for the economic balance. And then we might also be able to see something like TikTok coming out of Pakistan. I'm just
once you have a creative environment.
Yeah. So when you have an IT solution, and when you are exporting not only the leather carpet, but you are exporting software, and then when companies like Microsoft and Oracle start bidding to buy your company, this has just happened like last Monday.
Yes, but I think Pakistani government need to do what I can do to lead the economy rather than to follow the economy. I think he is able to do that. Change his perception. Then we do more and more like a tsunami. That is something like a public works. You should lead that. Everybody think, okay, there's another trend, another 10. You say something like that. But I think currently they are slightly self-satisfied with short periods achievement from economy.
Yeah. Early celebrations.
Yes, so they need to do something more.
They need.
Yes, current economic situation is better than expected, but not good enough.
Because miraculously, we were able to tackle COVID. Did you expect that?
Yeah, this I would say miracle is a very right word. It is really miracle.
It's a miracle, really.
I don't think Pakistani traditional drugs or the traditional medicine have ever made it to any other countries.
We don't have to argue which is better. I think right now President Xi Jinping said combination is the best.
One thing in common between Pakistan traditional medicines and the Chinese traditional medicines that they do not contain too many side effects.
You are watching the Belt and Road Face to Face, and we're about to enter the second part of our program, Figure. According to the Pakistan, so why has Pakistan's export contracted, and while drug export has maintained growth momentum otherwise? Kamran, I think you can give us some ideas. What is this dichotomy, or it's a paradox, or is this a predictable trend?
Well, as for the drug, the drug industry, I don't think Pakistan has too many allopathic drugs coming out directly from Pakistan. There are also many foreign companies, they have operations there. So there could be the reasons from those corporate heads making the decisions. I would not say it's directly the Pakistan's domain where Pakistan government or Pakistani companies are operating there. So those could be decisions, could be varieties of reasons. There are companies like Sandoz, Merck, and many companies that are there. But if we really want to talk from the Pakistan own traditional drug perspective, I don't think Pakistani traditional drugs or the traditional medicine have ever made it to any other countries that much, apart from only the ruafza, just some
Pakistani
drink.
expats, like you and me.
If we would want to get some Hamdard Khamira or Hamdard Safi
or
or
rose
something
water.
like that. So even in the traditional medicine, those have not yet been promoted, or the marketing hasn't been done properly. Whereas I see that the Chinese, it's in their culture that Chinese people take pride in their traditional medicine or traditional solutions like acupuncture and so on, and these are very good solutions as compared to many other off the shelf or the Western solutions that comes with a lot of side effects. So one thing in common between Pakistan traditional medicines and the Chinese traditional medicines, that they do not contain too many side effects, and they do not contain a lot of chemicals. They're just purely made out of the herbs, and even if they might have the side effects, would be very, very less. So I think there is a need to address it in the market properly, and focus on exporting Pakistani traditional medicines, and there can be some exchange between China and Pakistan.
So Kamran, do you think, I mean, obviously that's a great point. We have certain strengths, we have fared well in the sector, but we are not capitalizing. And China is a great example of how to capitalize, for example, our herbal medicine industry. But do you think people in Pakistan use herbal medicine that much? Do you think this is, or younger people seem to be shifting?
In the older generations, they really used to use a lot of herbal medicines and try to refrain and reduce as much as possible the usage of the off-the-shelf Western medicines. But I think the trend is the same in China as well, but China still tries their best for the domestic market as well as for the international market to keep the awareness going, to also by promoting and focusing on improving the traditional medicine, Chinese medicine universities. But in Pakistan, this is non-existent. This is not part of our education.
But I really want to know, how is it and when is it that China really has universities established for TCM and standardized traditional Chinese medicine? Because this is recent. The standardization is recent, and this creating a whole culture around TCM.
Can I jump in? I'm sorry.
Okay, please.
I know you asked Professor Joe, but now it makes sense. Now it makes total sense when Professor Joe said that it is a very young
because we're
industry.
You know why? 5,000 years.
Yeah, that's the point.
This is too unfair.
You're saying
so now we need your 5,000 years of wisdom.
So they're standardizing and regulating the knowledge and the wisdom of 5,000 years
but no,
that has been taught in the
universities.
universities.
We also have, like the Indus Valley civilization is 4,000 years, but we don't have the consistency.
We haven't done any promotion. We haven't done any awareness or education around it. Our
so now we need Professor Joe's input.
I think, let's say this way, I really just agree to your point. I really know the herbal industry have not been explored enough. But I think China's just take a different path. For one thing, there's a lot of combination between Western medicine and the Chinese medicine. There's a lot of things like that. And we also have already adapted to the customers' habit. People like to take tablets rather than just drink some
bitter soup.
Bitter soup. You see, so we change that into some, make it into tablet. So though it's still Chinese medicine, but it look like the West medicine like that. You see, so first just now because you aroused my feeling, that, my thinking, that is to, if Pakistan do the similar thing, make your what do we say, your herbal drugs into young people friendly way, whether can help you a lot or not. So right now we don't have to argue which is the better. I think right now President Xi Jinping said combination is the best. Right now there's a lot of combination that is with some Western medicine element with some Chinese one. Make it together. So that's why the COVID-19 in China, there's no epidemics in China, you see. So
people's immunity is also very good.
In Pakistan, that's why really I would like to congratulate Pakistan for the last 10 days or maybe 15 days. Pakistan, the whole situation is very stable, very stable.
And if you see a red Ferrari, definitely you would love it, right?
See,
and if you see the same Ferrari in the black color, it won't look so good. Trust me.
But people may say Hong Yan. Hong Yan is red, good looking.
So green for us is a formal color.
PIA is green.
Yeah, it's a formal color used for the signage.
You are watching the Belt and Road Face to Face, and we're about to enter the third part of our program, culture. Color is not only red, has gradually become a symbol of China's culture as well. And many products with Chinese traditional cultural characteristics are packaged in red, which is also very popular with foreigners. So what kind of spirit, firstly, Professor Zhou, do you think this Chinese color conveys?
Yeah.
To you personally?
Yeah, let's say first, you see, Chinese people, most of the Chinese people regard red is the best color because they think it means beauty, it means blood, it also means
wealth.
Expel the evil, expelling evil, you see. So, and also, you know, people like to say, even for Zoom, people say she's very beautiful, but people may say Hong Yan. Hong Yan is red, good looking, something like that. So
red is beauty.
Very beautiful. So that is people just regard red means beauty, means expecting evil, and especially whenever there's a ceremony and also something like rituals, there must be something in red. So people enjoy doing that. Of course, you know, there's another color which is also important. We all know that the yellow color in China.
In China, yellow is
also. Because like a crown, like a royal, so that's also like emperor. So also yellow color is in China is also some show your dignity, show your distinguished
status,
people. Yeah, something like that. You see. But I really think I noticed in Pakistan. Maybe it's your turn.
This is where. Kamran, what do you first? We also have some cultural color symbols. I think maybe they could even be different between you and me. But what do you think about China's symbol, the red? How do you feel when you see something red in China as a cultural symbol?
I think I personally like it very much.
Since you came here?
Yes, I developed the taste for the red color. I mean, in the beginning, I felt like it's too red, too much. I didn't get it, why? No. But over a period of time, I think it starts to make sense and you start to like it.
And what's the emotion?
It depends on your feelings, basically. Yeah. How you're feeling. Red can resonate with your temper, with emotions. It can resonate in any way. I mean, if you see a red Ferrari, definitely you would love it, right? And if you see the same Ferrari in the black color, it won't look so good. Trust me.
For me personally, I have to become a panelist for a few minutes because for me, red, I was always more into dark pink as a color for vibrant color. But since I came to China, it's been about 5 years. red is the color that I feel really beautiful, warmth, vibrant. It does make me happy.
I think it
And
is
it
the
didn't
color
before.
of confidence.
It's the color of
It
confidence.
shows you that you are not lacking any confidence and you are not, holding yourself back.
Yeah. Kamran, what about Pakistan? I mean, what are the meaningful colors culturally,
I would say that
patriotically?
in Pakistan and also from our religious background, red is a color of happiness.
Red is the color of happiness.
Yes, because if you look at all of our weddings from last, if you go back further back into the history, you will see there will be like 99.9% brides will wear red. Right?
Even Chinese brides wear red.
Yes.
This is a commonality.
So it is a color of happiness, and so then maybe now it's becoming less and less. Now people are picking up things and ideas from different cultures. So maybe some brides would want to wear white or turquoise or different colors. But red is definitely, it also when the Pakistani girls, they put henna or mehndi on their hand, it is also kind of like reddish. The first glimpse that comes out is like a reddish, deep red color, right? Yeah. So it's a color of happiness, and it is a color of attraction, and it also shows your confidence.
Yeah.
And what about green?
Let me just cut one word.
Please, Professor.
That's a very, very important correction. Because when people think about Pakistan, they always think about the most important, the most impressive color should be green. But actually, as Mr. Cameron said, may not necessarily be. Green, I think from your national flag, there's green means Muslim.
Yes.
And assert to say that is everybody should remember we are Muslim forever. But the white means non-Muslim, which can be accepted in the Muslim society. But people only just read it this way. Yeah. We have never heard people like Camera say something. Red is also important color in Pakistan.
Festivity, red.
So that's very, very important correction. I will write down in my book or in my paper, that is some people who regard the green is the only favorable
Actually,
color.
green we don't use in daily life. Like you never see. What is the usage of green? Maybe it's obviously when you see the flag, when we are celebrating Pakistan Day, people wear green, and that's important. It's about religion, identity, purity. But red is the color of celebration. And this is something we share.
And green is basically, you can say every company has a logo, right?
Yeah.
And but do you always wear the logo on your suit or dress? Like I work for this company. No, unless if it is a big company event that maybe you might, if you're representing your company in an event, then you will put your company logo as a badge, right? Or your country flag. So green for us is a formal color.
PIA is green.
Yeah, it's a formal color used for the signage.
Let's hope that regardless of which color we choose to represent in our branding, etc., in Pakistan's flag we have green, in China's we have red, but we also see a lot of cultural similarities between both countries. And red is a color that both of us associate positiveness with, positivity, joy. So thank you both of you for a very interesting, insightful discussion, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Until next time. Goodbye.